So welcome to another episode of Color Him Dads. This is a podcast coming from Divine Alternative for Dads Services, which is a local nonprofit, local to Seattle, that is. Hopefully by the time you hear this podcast, we'll be marching on or emerging on a national perspective. Well, today I'm real happy to introduce to you a young brother who I highly admired, Cortez Charles. And my name is Marvin Charles, so you would think we were related, but we're not. But that's in name, but in spirit we are totally related. He's a young brother in our community doing fatherhood work. Now, you know, when I heard about the work that my friend Cortez was doing, I was elated by it because it was something that was never heard of before. And let me give you just a snapshot of it before I introduce him to you guys. There was a young brother doing what is it that when women have parties to celebrate the birth or their pregnancy? What is it, man? What is it?
Baby showers.
Baby showers, yes. And so here was a brother doing baby showers for men. I mean, that was phenomenal, man. I'm like, who thought of that one, right? That was, and he was getting folks to show up, and I thought, man, this is a brother I gotta know because that's creative, and it touches men in places men haven't been touched before, and he was getting a response from them, and that was, to me, anytime you're doing something around fathering and you getting response, that means that it's a powerful piece. And so I want to introduce you to, I'm going to use his words, a young OG, right? But Cortez Charles is a person who came to DADS. He'll tell you about the story. And I've watched him grow. I watched him become a significant piece in our community. And I wanted to introduce the world to him and just see what God does with him from here. So without any further ado, I want to introduce to you my young friend, Cortez Charles. Man.
What's going on? What's going on?
Man, you got it, man. You got it. You got it.
It's a blessing to be here. And what you were alluding to was, you know, that the women, they do these baby showers, but you know, what we do over here is actually called the fatherhood shower. You know,
okay.
Where we utilize opportunity to celebrate fathers entering into their journey of fatherhood.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Just you can put the mic closer to the edge of the table.
Yep.
Perfect, right there. Yep.
Honoring you know, fathers as they enter in their journey of fatherhood, celebrating them. You know, inspiring them, encouraging them, showering them with that love and encouragement that they need, you know, as they go into their journey, just to give them a little push and let them know. You know?
So, question for you:
Mm-hmm.
How did you know? What brought you to the understanding that was a need, or that would be something that would garner father support to the point that they really wanted to participate in that? Yeah. What made you do that?
My own personal journey. You know, my personal journey, you know, back in 2006 is when I entered my journey of fatherhood, and you know, I found myself standing outside of your front doors, and coming in, getting some advice, walked through the entire process of how to get my son. And when I did get my son, I immediately, you know, locked into the journey, right? And I'm seeing, you know, how difficult things could be, you know, and things are in my moment, right? And in that season of life. There wasn't a lot of resources out there for dads. There wasn't a lot of resources out there for fathers. At the time, it was only, it was only dads, right? And I locked in. I had another child, and I knew exactly what to do based off of what I was taught when I came in with my son. And over the years, how we celebrate entering to the journey of fatherhood could look like, kicking it with your people, going to the bar, celebrating in ways that was not really truly conducive to the journey of fatherhood, right? And as I got older and got into this work and of serving others, I'm seeing younger fathers become fathers, right? Teenagers become fathers, and if we could create a culture that could be cultivated and spread across society, across the nation for real, these fathers, these kids would have a way better
opportunity.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, and so I had a young man that I was doing some work with in community. He had a different journey. He spent some time away, came back home, and life changed, right? Your kid, your partners is dying. You're figuring out life right now, and he's about to enter his journey of fatherhood. And I told him, this is what I wanted to do for him. I wanted to, because when you find out that you're about to have a baby, and you tell your partners that you're about to have a baby, sometimes it's met with, oh man, what she got you, or it's immediately met with all kinds of stress and pressure and anxiety and things of that nature, right? But when we enter our journeys now, and you have an opportunity to have a fatherhood shower, right? You are actually, we bring you out.
See, this is what's crazy. It's the first time you got a community of folks that are with you and for you and committed to being there.
Come on.
That's what I saw it created, right? Because normally when that happens, especially to somebody coming out the hood, oh man, that's good. And then, but when you get done with that, is you gonna still come over here and help me out over here? You feel what I'm saying?
Man, some folks have these vision boards when they go into the year. So in that fatherhood shower setting, right? We ask folks to bring your family, the folks who you feel care about your journey and care about your well-being and this child's well-being. Bring them on out. Bring some gifts for the baby. We eat some food together. We congregate together. But then there's a serious space where we have a village board that folks come up and sign. When you have at the beginning of the year, everybody's creating a vision board, new year, new me, and all that, right? Well, this village board is to be intentional for folks to come up and you are signing on this village board, making a commitment to the journey of your partner, your friend, your brother, along this journey. He can call you and he can lean on you when it gets stressful, when things get hard, when things get tough. He can look at that village board, draw some inspiration from it, call one of the people that's on it, and it's powerful, man. It's extremely powerful.
So you now have folks who've committed to be part of your community as far as you raising your child, huh?
Man, listen. A lot of people say it take a village.
Yeah.
Well.
Where is the village?
Where is the village? And are we being intentional about that village? And do I know I'm a part of your village?
Yeah.
Like some people just automatically put you in their village because I could let my kid come over your house, but they ain't spending the night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that how much of that village are you a part of, right?
Amen.
And so
that's a great thing. So then tell me this. How long have you been doing these fatherhood showers?
Well, the first, it is 2024 right now. So we've been doing these for 2 years. 2 years. Our last fatherhood shower, it's a quarterly fatherhood shower, so we do them all throughout the year. Our last one of the year is actually next week, December 16th, at Rainier Beach Community Center from 2 to 4 p.m. We got a nice lineup of fathers that we gonna shower. with love, encouragement, inspiration, and wish them well in their journeys, and let them know, that you are amazing. You are a dope dad, and you are so necessary. It's important for these fathers to and you don't have to just be a father that is just now entering into your journey. You could have 5 kids, you could have 6 kids, and I know that you haven't had a fatherhood shower before, so you deserve one of those, man. So I got a father that is coming in on this one. He's got I think he has 3 kids, and he just had a new one come into this world. So I'm excited for this one. It's always a blend of older fathers and younger fathers, and it's intentional around that, because you get the young folks to be able to see some of the journeys of the older fathers, and we all figuring this thing out one day at a time.
That reminds me of each one teach one.
Come on,
right?
man. Yes, sir.
Here's so 2 years. How many fathers that you have that have come back to you and said, man, this has really helped me, or this has been tell me about that aspect of it.
All the time, man. We those messages are so powerful and encouraging, and it gives me a surge of energy to just keep on going. It's especially that the very first one that we did, because this young man's life was on the line. He's seen all of his partners leaving here through being impacted by gun violence or the system, and he made a decision. He made a sound decision to change his life, and he was so excited and so happy, about this baby coming into this world, and it's a beautiful thing. So I stay connected with the fathers. They reach out, and just give us kudos. And we don't do this for kudos, but it is inspiring when it does come and you hear from them.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this on our podcast. I'd love to be able to sew in to be a part of that. Okay, just to sew in. I got to tell you, I have a young man who just knocked off almost a nickel, right? When I met this young man, he had just had a baby. She was the most beautiful child I'd ever seen, right? And he came out of the South End, and I got a chance to really connect with him. So he started coming to our Wednesday morning group and all kind of things. And I only had like 3 months with him. And then I went to the court with him and everything, and the judge said, I got to do what I got to do. He said, but I wished, he said, this is crazy. The judge said, this is a good person. That's what the judge said. So it was like, he said, because I gave him an opportunity to run, and he didn't. He kept coming back to court. Well, it wasn't crazy, but I saw this community grab around him, and you could see that this community was something he'd never had before, like you just mentioned, that village. And these were black men and white, but they were all fathers. Some new, some corporate, some out of. And so I seen how that opened him up, right? Well, he's getting ready to touch down. He's getting ready to touch down, man, and I need to build some stuff around him, because he's like one of my kids, man. I don't want nothing, you know what I mean? I don't want nothing to trigger. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so I need to talk to you about how do we pull something like that he didn't get a chance to do. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do we lock in so that he don't get, you know what I mean? I know Red Legs, he got juice. He got a juice card he don't mind using. You feel what I'm saying? So I need to do whatever we can do to make sure that don't happen. So I do want to conversate with you more about that. So my friend Dwight, I don't want him getting caught up like that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Let's definitely connect. One thing about the fatherhood accountability movement, its foundation and our mission in being able to teach youth and adults what it looks like to serve somebody other than themselves while healing and restoring the family dynamic. It comes through service. It comes through staying busy and being connected around that. And so we got a ton of stuff that we can get him involved in and keep him and stay connected, right? Serving with the family is planting positive seeds that blossom into something beautiful one day. Every month we doing service projects, man, just together. You know, I have my son, recently, my youngest boy, 7 years old, Cam, man, we was doing a service project and making some sandwiches and just him and other little kids was there and he was like, Dad, this is so fun. And you know what that did to my heart, because I know that these are seeds that are being planted in his life. And this is how we have an impact on the world. This is how we make this world a better place, you know?
Wow, man. You just brought to me another young man that I'm working with. He's a powerful dad. Powerful dad. He's I think he's about 40 years old with 4 kids. He's got his youngest are a set of twins, a girl and a boy. But the boy is his because he's got 3 daughters, right? And this is an amazing young man. So I would love for him to be part of it, because he's a businessman, you know what I mean? But he's looking for something to do with his son. More intentional, right? And I like the way, you know, you said a service project with, because he would be all over that, right? He's a young man. I married him 19 years ago, right?
Wow.
And he was out there, right? But he came on in, and he and his wife, and then this is unusual, but this is the unusualness that stands out about this person that I'm talking about. He married his young high school sweetheart, right? So all his kids are by the same woman.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
That's dope.
And you know that's kind of a rarity, and you know where I come from. You know what I'm saying? But they got it, huh?
Huge rarity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So but he's someone I really would like to introduce you to. He's powerful, man. You know what I mean? He's powerful, man. Let me just go back. So one of the seeds, have you thought about what it looks like to expand the work that you're doing in the community around the fatherhood showers?
Oh, absolutely.
110%. Talk a little bit about that.
I truly believe in order. I mean, this is culture that's being created. We're changing the narrative. You know, you ask a brother, and you ask 10 brothers about, are you gonna do a baby shower? Man, that's for women. You know, that's for women.
Yeah.
You know, some get offended, right? One of my partners, but and he's actually on. He's actually going to be one of the honorees this next week as well. Is that right? So that narrative kind of is. I'm watching it shift. Okay. But I absolutely 110% believe that, you know, every father that it's imperative that they have this, because it sets the tone. It sets the tone to the journey of fatherhood. You changing the game. You know, you're not kicking it all night. And when I say this, I'm reflecting on when my first 2 kids came into the world, how I was, where I was at mentally, right? I'm at the bar, we celebrating, oh, the baby's coming, okay, we all getting on our way to the hospital and everything like that. And you're intoxicated, you know, for me in my journey, intoxicated going to the hospital, but you know, you got this bundle of joy. Now imagine your preparation. You know, they say proper preparation, it prevents poor performance, right? So you properly preparing yourself, and you having an actual fatherhood shower, a very serious space where ain't no alcohol involved. It's all your people that love you, and then we all sitting here showering you with the love and encouragement and inspiration that you need to be successful in this journey, right? I truly believe that everybody deserves one, and if we have an opportunity to put this on a pedestal and serve this thing nationwide, citywide, statewide, whatever, we would definitely be willing to host these fatherhood showers for fathers in the future.
Well, you know, it's crazy because even when we started DADS, we had no idea, no concept about what would happen or how it would grow. But what we were determined that this was going to make a difference in community. That's what I hear you saying. You know this is going to make a difference. So what do we have to do to make sure that it does make a difference is just keep moving the needle.
Yes, sir.
Keep moving the narrative, right? And so I don't know how we can help you move that narrative, but if it's changing lives, it shouldn't be a problem at all. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, we just need to make sure that we just, see, you created an ambiance that makes people want to say, I need to be a part of that. I need to be a part of that regardless, right? And we just do it. And now, one of the things we didn't do when we started DADS 26 years ago, we didn't advertise. My wife was my business partner, and only because she was raised by her father, right? Mm-hmm. She was like, listen, I'm doing this heavy lifting on this end, and if we have, and I'm the only one doing this heavy lifting, we could have a line around the block, and I'm not going to do all that. So we just didn't. But we found out we didn't need to advertise because word of mouth was doing way more. That's how you showed up at the door, right?
Yes, sir.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we take that narrative and move that to what you do? You know, move that narrative to word of mouth. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I really, there are guys who, we have a 14-week class that we do. Mm-hmm. There are guys sitting in the class. You were part of the class.
Absolutely.
There are guys sitting in that class that want to be a part of something to that degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so how do we make sure that that takes place? That's the question. I don't need you to answer it now. It's just a question pointing to a job that we can do together on this one, right?
Absolutely.
I got guys calling here and having situations, courtroom situations, courthouse situations, disagreements with their baby's mama, which we don't condone that, right? Mm-hmm. We say, how can we level the playing field? How can we create with you create this family environment? And I think that's a key component. You know what I mean? The work you do, I think, is a key component there. So we just need to navigate how do we marry that? How do we get those two components to help these guys realize where they are? And I don't think that's a hard job to do.
Man, I don't think it's a hard job to do at all. I think the most important piece is staying consistent and staying at it, right? We use a holistic approach at FAM. You know, with me working with fathers, my wife working with mothers, we both working with families as a collective, and being able to hold healing circles and community check-ins and normalizing this behavior so that, you know, when things do arise, we know how to effectively communicate with one another and not try to take one or the other out of the picture. Because with me and my wife's journey of coming together and blending families, one thing we had to learn to do immediately is check in. We got to check in as a family, right? We got to, what you got going on? You got an issue with her, you got an issue with him, y'all got an issue with me, and we put everything out there, and everybody's voice matters. Nobody's voice is being taken away. But we got to normalize this behavior, right, as a society, as families, individually, so that we can really, you know, see the fruits of that labor collectively.
You know, it's crazy. What I found was one of the nemesis in this work was everybody thought that they were going through something by themselves. And then that's what, putting it on the table, you get a chance to realize, no, I ain't the only one going through this. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And that then, until that is sought, or you see that, you realize that you're not by yourself, right? Which then automatically builds community. Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I adhere to that understanding 100%. Let me kind of shift our thought process right now. What would you like to see? How old is your youngest?
My youngest is 7, just made 7, November 4th.
My youngest is 14, 7 years older than yours. What as fathers, what do we do to make sure that our youngest never have to go through what we went through?
Oh man, you know, this one is funny because all the kids, you know, they feel like I am just extra with the youngest one.
You ain't by yourself on that.
And you know, and And I think as a father that has multiple kids, you know, you're learning with each one, and you know that you made some mistakes along the journey, and you want to be better, right, and improve on those. And I think with this youngest one, the benefit that he gets is he gets a lot of communication from dad, you know, whereas you know you're so in it, right? Whatever your circumstances may have been with other kids along the journey, you may be so in that you miss, right, those opportunities or those moments where you could have been able to pour in, but you so stressed out about whatever,
right.
you know, you just you handle it totally different. And so with this youngest one, he gets a lot of patience. He gets a lot of you know, a lot of communication. He also helps me be a better dad for the older ones, right? You know what I mean? Because of how I have to handle him.
Hey, listen, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was a lot of communication. But then it seemed like 13, 14, and I got a girl, right? 13, 14, and I struggle a little bit because now they want to put on makeup and eyelashes. And, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
and so it's like, wait a minute, you finna look like somebody gonna pay attention to you. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I be like, I don't know if I'm ready for somebody to pay attention to my little girl, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you said it just then. If I shut the door on all of that, then I'm gonna lose having communication. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not ready to lose having communication, you know? So I have to navigate these waters differently than I got 4 daughters, man. My oldest is almost 30. I got her next one is 28, and the next one is 26, right? And I got a confession to make. I ain't do all them right. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Number one is, okay, your mother can call the shots here.
Yeah.
Well, no, because dads need to call some shots too, right? Even if they're wrong shots, I learned that even some of the shots I called were the wrong shots because I have pushback now on certain things, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still dad, right?
Yeah.
So how do I make sure that I'm not gonna ever stop the pushback, right? But what do I do to make sure that the pushback doesn't have a negative impact on our relationship? You feel what I'm saying? And those are the kind of things, man, that I'm learning, right? You're right. It's a consistent learning mode, right?
Yeah.
But with my little girl, whew, man, she in high school, first year. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that I'm really comfortable with is she has her little crew. And the crew came out of elementary school together, right? And so they still have, you know, their little gatherings. Their parents are, you know, are the same people, and they know. And so I feel comfortable with that. But I'm a visionary. You feel what I'm saying? I like looking down the road. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, okay, what's this? Okay, I'm expecting any day now some cat to say, you know what I mean? He's the one. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to run him through the mill like I'm supposed to, right? You know, if you the one,
For sure.
let me see if you the one.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I'm going to be a little more patient than I was with the other ones. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to ruin anything. You know what I mean? What I want to do is be a blessing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to cover it as a father's supposed to. Again, I don't have all these things right, but if I want to be an example to what a father is, not only to my daughter, but to the community. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been blessed. My wife is the only child, and her father raised her. And what I use to keep me on track with that is what her father put in her, I got that blessing. So I want to make sure that whatever I put in my daughter, whoever grabs her hand is going to be the one who gets the blessing from what I put in her. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's I had to frame it that way, right? Because my wife has been a wonderful wife, right? You know what I mean? The 25 years we've been married, has there been ups and downs? Yes, but she's overall been a wonderful wife. And it's because of, I believe, because of what her father put in her.
Mm-hmm.
And what her father put in her was directly, I got the bennies from it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I got the bennies from it. So I'm hoping that I can put that together. Hey, man, listen, it's been great chopping it up with you. I'm keeping the door open for you to come back. Tell us, give us an update on what you're doing and how it's taking place, and give the audience the name of your program again, what you're serving in the community. Can you do that for me?
Absolutely, absolutely. We are the Fatherhood Accountability Movement. You can follow us at fatherhood_A_movement on Instagram. You can also follow us at the Fatherhood Accountability Movement on Facebook. And you know, we are an organization that is all about healing and restoring the family dynamic using a holistic approach, right? Working with fathers individually, working with mothers individually, and working with families as a collective, hosting a host of community events and community check-ins, and you're all welcome anytime.
Wow. Hey, so listen, family, I'm glad that you stopped by today and gave me some of your time. I know you got to rush out the door, but just know this, man, you always got a seat in my heart, and then work out there. And thank you for blessing me with your time today. All right?
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
All right.